Right. Well, it's been a very long time since I posted any videos, and I did say I was going to try to be better about documenting stuff. So I'm kind of halfway through this now, but I think it'll still be somewhat informative. Anyways, so my setup, to remind you, is a set of HKS 2530s deep down in there. And as you can see, I've taken off the wastegate actuators. And that's because I am installing these. The Turbosmart 14-pound wastegate actuators for the RB26. Now I've already taken the HKS ones off. These are the HKS reinforced, heavy duty, whatever. But it turns out that there are two versions apparently, a 10-pounder and a 14-pounder. Turns out that my turbos came with the 10-pounders. So with an electronic boost controller, the most you can actually achieve over any wastegate preload is 100% thereabouts. So what I was getting at best was about 18.4 pounds with the boost controller turned to 100%. So the car was plenty quick, don't get me wrong, but it's a bit different from when I had my original Nismo turbos on there with the Nismo wastegate actuators, which were 14-pounders, and I was continuously being able to get up to 24, 25 pounds of boost. And even though the 2530s are basically the same turbo, they just happen to be ball bearings, so they spool up quicker. I can tell you that the difference between 18 pounds and 25 pounds of boost is significant on a mildly modified GTR like mine. So these should allow me to get back up to it. Turbosmart actually claims that these are 14.7 pounds, so a full bar. Anyhow, these are beautiful pieces. Billet aluminum. As I said, they come set, preloaded for the GTR, the RB26, at 14.7 psi. So I should easily be able to get back up to my 25-pound range, which should make the car a whole lot more fun again. Anyhow, you are able to reuse the mounts if you choose to. Now, the HKS mounts are actually better than anything else because they are reinforced with this extra bar. All the other ones just have the bent plate. And not to mention, it's actually easier to pull the wastegates off of this than to actually get down and pull this bracket off, because there's a bolt there and there's another one deep down inside of there, and I really didn't feel like taking this other intake pipe off of the rear turbo because it's an absolute nightmare to get to. There's that one off as well. So that's where we're at right now. Everything else is pretty straightforward. Like I said, this is going to be kind of a rough video. I'm not recording the actual work that I'm doing. It'll kind of be before and after scenario. I'll take a video after I get it all set back up, but I will try to do better, get some GoPros going, and start documenting some of the stuff that's going to be coming up with the car. So right now, the car is still running the stock internally R33 RB26. Bunch of bolt-ons, as I've gone over before. HKS 2530s, HKS exhaust manifolds, HKS divided downpipes, Nismo collector, 3.5-inch exhaust, running HKS intakes, HKS charge pipes, the ARC 100mm intercooler, going up to the other HKS charge pipe, and then into the Greddy plenum, 850cc injectors. What is usually over there are the RB25 mass air sensors. So those are good for 350-ish a piece, so twins, 700 horse, which is more than I'm going to be putting down, or more than I'm capable of putting down on this motor, more than likely. I think I'm going to be happy to be at about 650 at the crank, which will net a legitimate 550 at the wheels, which in a car this small, even though it's not the lightest of cars, is pretty good. I'm putting down probably about 500 right now, maybe a little bit less since the wastegates aren't giving me everything that I want. But the Jim Wolf computer is programmed for all of this. I will be putting in the HKS V-Cam next. So my plan is to get the wastegate actuators on there, go ahead and get it dynoed in its current configuration with boost at about 24 pounds. So that way I will have some actual back-to-back hard numbers to lay down. So we get a baseline at 24 pounds of boost with this setup, and I do have methanol injection right now, so on and so on. So I'm pretty good at that boost level, but my plan is get the baseline, dyno run, get the V-Cam installed, get a dyno run, same boost pressure at that point, and see what it netted all the way across. And then I'm going to be going E85. So after the E85, we'll dyno it again. So I'm hoping to have 3 dyno sessions with back-to-back-to-back numbers to be able to show actual horsepower and torque increases from each of the modifications. So the E85 conversion is going to require upgrading the fuel system. Obviously, I've got a bunch of upgrades as it is, but I haven't done all the plumbing to make it E85 compatible. So I'm going to go ahead and go with a twin pump setup in the tank instead of the single pump setup that I have now. Probably end up using the Hicus lines as dash 8 feeds up to here. Then I got to get a new fuel rail, and I'm going to run the ID 1050 injectors. So that'll allow me to have a honest 700 horsepower capability on E85 with the mass air sensors that I have, and going from there. And then we'll see what she dynos at that point. Otherwise, there's not much else that I'm going to want to do to this motor. She is running the R35 coil packs, of course. Right now she has Tomei Pond Cam Bs. I'm going to leave the exhaust Pond Cam B in there when I switch the intake out with the HKS V-Cam. HKS recommends, obviously, one of their exhaust cams, a 264 step 1 cam, but the Pond Cam B is actually a 260, pretty close, and the Pond Cam B actually has more lift at 9.15 mil instead of the 8.7 mil of the HKS. So I think it'll probably be pretty spot on, and I don't see any reason to go spending another $400 and swapping out another cam that may not really make much of a difference. We'll see as it goes along. But anyways, so that's where we're at right now. If I can get this car at high boost, 24 pounds, on E85 to put down an honest high 500, I think I'll be pretty happy with that. It's a pretty quick car as it is now, and the E85, I'm imagining, will probably allow me to get the timing tweaked a bit further, be a little more aggressive with it, and ramp it up faster, which will probably get us another 50 horses at least over what I'm going to get on gasoline, even after I put the V-Cam in. But anyhow, that's what's going on. I'm going to make a better effort to put some videos up, and we'll go from there. Thanks.